Set up. Do a live feed tonight. Get it plugged in. Take everybody a second to get here. Let's see. Showing up. There we go. People, there's people coming now. All right. A lot of people popping on in here tonight. I'm gonna get my iPad over here going. Let's get over here. Get back to thing. Pop it up, turn the volume down. There we go. Central Florida, 80 degrees there. Man, I tell you what, y'all just don't know what you're missing right now. Oh, golly. Randy says Upper Peninsula of Michigan, I believe is where that is. 55 inches of snow in the last 7 days. Holy cow, man. Can you say hi to Mike Hunt? Hi, Mike Hunt. Shoot. Minus 55 in Sask, Canada. Northern Florida's 34 degrees. Man, I tell you what, right now, outside, let me get this correct here. We're at 18 degrees right now, and we're going down to showing 11 is what we're going down to tonight. And currently we're completely iced in here. We got started getting ice Saturday. My truck doors were frozen shut when I went to go out to go down to the saw class to get everything situated and started, and it hadn't warmed up since then. Saturday it got up into the mid 30s, and then we left out yesterday morning and went. I did that tree job, the video that y'all seen today, and it was in the 20s. It never got above freezing yesterday at all. It stayed in the 20s all day long, and there was a good bit of ice around, nothing really on the roads or anything like that. And then yesterday evening, last night, it got to raining and carrying on and a little bit there. And then this morning is when it really started doing its thing there and started really icing up then at that point in time. And so it's just gotten worse as the day has went. It rained the majority of the day today, and then we worked. I worked here in the house, just messing around and all, and the ice just kept getting worse and worse. We hadn't lost power yet or anything like that, and currently right now nothing is falling. That's the only thing that's saving us right now. But like on my shop pad out there, everything is about that deep in solid ice right now. I hadn't seen a car go up down the road here since before it got dark, because once it got a little bit later and it started freezing, even my driveway was slick out there when I drove down to my shop down there earlier. So if it goes down to 10 degrees tonight, there's going to be a lot of people here that are going to have things frozen and they're going to bust, because most of the houses here are not set up for that kind of cold. Mine is. I can handle it. My house can handle it. No problem, because when I built a house, I did a lot of special stuff in it to keep that from happening, because The other house that Jill and I lived in there for a while, we had that problem. Pipes would freeze in it when it got real cold. And so when we built this one right here, the other one we lived in, we bought it. So when we built this one here, I said we wasn't gonna have to deal with none of that mess like that, and we have not. But there will be a lot of people with froze stuff in the morning when it goes in. I actually rode down the road into Alabama about a mile or so today, this afternoon, and did some filming. And so I may post that video tomorrow, and it's got a bunch of it'll show a bunch of that and what we kind of deal with here. No, my house does not have a fireplace in it. So our only heat is the heat pump, and ours does really good here as long as we got power. I do have a generator down there in my shop, and I went ahead and changed oil in it this afternoon, and got it ready. So in case we do go out of power tonight or something happens, I can bring the generator up here, and I got it fixed up where I can plug it in the carport, and it will run the entire house except for the double pole stuff, and so we can run all the lights, the fans, the electric blanket. We got electric blankets and all that good stuff like that. So we'd be fine if the power went out, but we just couldn't run the 220 stuff is the main thing. So while we're doing this live feed, if all of a sudden the screen blacks out and everything goes down, it gets kind of quiet, it's because the power went out. And I will stop the live feed at that point, and I'll go down there and get the generator and get it fired back up is what I'll do. I'm gonna look through some of the comments. Ryan says it's absolutely beautiful in Las Vegas, a high of 66 and low of 47. Good grief. Yeah, Sean was right. I forgot to mention the wind chill. Good God, it's cold. The wind is tough out there right now. Let's see. Let me catch up on the comments here. Yeah, Brian, thawing pipes sucks. Brian, when I texted you the other day, I hadn't got back with you yet on that, but we're gonna do something on that probably that first weekend in May. I've been meaning to get back with you, but just kind of put that feather in your cap. If that'll work all right for you, we'll probably do something that weekend. I just want to get through this next saw class, and then we'll go from there. Is what we'll do. Let's see. Oh man. See, Josh wants to know, how do I like the 562 XP? I like that saw. I like it a lot. That's the best power to weight ratio saw that Husqvarna makes is the 562. The saw runs a 3/8 chain, and you can put a 28-inch bar on it. It does well in softwood with a 28-inch bar. It's not too crazy about hardwood with a 28, but it'll run a 24-inch bar really good in hardwood. So, like I said, that's the best power to weight ratio that you got. If you don't have to have the 3/8 chain, the 550, man, is an absolute killer saw to run, because that thing saw just rumbles, man. That thing gets with the program there. Darwin, there's old Darwin. Darwin says, I'm glad our saw class was last weekend. Darwin, you would have froze your tallywhacker off this weekend, buddy, because it was cold this weekend. Let me tell you, it was chilly, man. I mean, it was cold. Like I said, yesterday morning when we went over to cut that tree down, the wind chill was like 16. So very cold, man. Let's see. Yeah, I just talked to John Boy there, and he lives over in South Carolina, and he said it was raining like crazy over there too. All right, be quiet, Siri. Let's see. Let's see. Brian SLC Farms asked me, are there any good online places to get bars and chains that I recommend? Yeah, I recommend two. One of them is Bailey's Log and Supply, but they're over in California. So it takes a little bit to kind of get things shipped across across the United States from them. But the other really good one is down there in Daytona, Florida, and I actually ordered a bar from them last night, a 20-inch Sugihara bar. Is H&L Supply, H&L or HL Supply. They're right there in Daytona, Florida. They sell a lot of saw parts and pieces, bars and chains. They got tons of them. They're a very good place to look up, and they're very quick on their shipping too, man. So look either one of them up if you don't mind waiting on it an extra couple of days. From California, you can get it from Bailey's, but I mean, from where you live over in York, South Carolina, Brian, you'd probably have it in 2 days, I imagine. So just get it from H&L. You just need to know, on each one of the bars, like if you're in doubt, look in the description, and it will tell you what saws that bar fits. Because like on the Husqvarnas and the Stihl's both, you have a large mount and you have a small mount. And so if I'm not mistaken, the Ranchers take a small mount, and then like the 572, 372, 395, all that stuff, it takes the large mount is what it takes. So just look in the description there, and it'll tell you what that bar will fit on, and if your saw's in that description there, then you know you're good to go on. And then you need to know whether you want a 50, a 58, or 63 gauge. Unless you're running anything more than about a 24 or 28 inch bar, I would stick with a 50 gauge. Is what I would stick with. You primarily see the larger gauges when you get up into the longer bars, like the 58s and stuff like that. You'll see them in the 30 plus inch bars. Let's see. I'm just kind of looking here. Let's see, Garrett will be getting a 562 from Norfolk Power Equipment when they start their 20% off sale in March. Yeah, it's hard to beat that with a stick, man. No, there's no telling how many saws I've moved for Norfolk Power Equipment, because there were 2 brand new ones here that were just been bought that were at this weekend saw class, a 550 and a 572. And Mr. Bill that had the 550, he had just bought that 572 in November when I was over there at the open house. He came over there, him and his girlfriend came over there, and Miss Betty, and he picked it up. Then Billy asked, have I got the gas cap fixed on my 500i yet? No, Billy kind of give up on that, because I got 3 Stihls and all 3 of them leak gas out of the gas cap, the 261, the 362, and the 500. And I tell you, that really kind of pisses me off too. And to be quite frank about it, I'm not happy about that at all. I mean, that's pretty crappy in my opinion on Stihl's part to produce. And it's obviously, I'm not the only one, because man, you looked at the comments on the comparison video that I did on those saws the other day, and there's 300, right at 400 comments on it. And my gosh, the people that said they hate those Stihl caps, it's nuts. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, y'all hit that thumbs up. Just got reminded of that right there. Let's see. Hit that. There's 228 people on here right now. Kill that thumbs up for me. Let's see. Yeah, David Black says they're right in the last video about the Screaming Demon. Oh, talking to David Breeden tonight. He's one of the Husqvarna guys, and we were kind of going back over today's video, and he told me, he said, dude, he said, that little 550, he said, that son gun cuts, man. He said, that thing cuts. And I said, yeah, dog. I said, that dang saw will eat now. And that was with a wore out freaking SP33G semi chisel chain that thing was cutting like that. If you hadn't seen that video, watch today's video, man. It's a great video. Got some good stuff in it there, and a lot of good stuff. Let's see. How was my week? My week was good, or decent last week. That's Dirty South Logging asked that. That's bad when you're talking about the gas caps on the saws. That's bad when you got a saw sitting there and it's costing you money. You ain't even running the dang thing, man. You go in there and put gas in, and all of it leaks out in about 2 days. You know, you got to flip it over on its side so it don't leak out. There, let's see. Let's see. Brian at SLC Farms asked, "Why do I choose to remove the decompression valve on my saws?" That's a good question, Brian. The reason I do is because it's a natural leak on the saw when it's running, and if you pull that decomp out and you replace it with a plug to go back in it, that's an automatic 10% increase in power on the saw. You know, that little $2 plug that you pull out of that and put that plug in, that'll get you 10% more out of that saw right there just by doing that, like that. Let's see. Oh, did I take the 24-inch bar off? And so, no, the 20-inch bar that I ordered it for the steel. Oh, here's some, y'all talking about steels. Y'all check this out. So when I have the saw class on Friday night, when we get out there and the guys are here and we start sawing, I want to demonstrate kickback with the saws. And so what I do is I take one of my saws and I run that sun gun wide open and I stick the tip of it in a log and let it just kick back at me as hard as it wants to where the chain brake will engage on it, and I can show the guys in the class what it looks like, because some of them had never seen it and they don't know what the saw does and how it reacts. And of course, when I do it and I look around at them, their eyes are about this big, you know, because you got a 20-pound saw flying back at you running 100-something miles an hour. And so I was doing that with the 362. It's got a 20-inch Roller-Matic bar on that thing. And so I had done it like 3 or 4 times. And I did it one more time, and when I fed that thing in there and I hit that tip with it, it actually split that tip wide open on that Roller-Matic bar. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? And I looked at it and I thought, dang. So after the class Friday night, I throwed the saw, I just took it in there and just set it in there in the shop floor. After the class, I've set up on my table, snatched the side cover off of it, pulled the bar and chain off of it, pried the chain, it split the tip. The chain went between the side of the tip and the sprocket. And I was sitting there cussing. I thought, God, dog, really? Got it out. Tips kind of flared out. I'm thinking, dang. So I took it and I put it on one of my vices. This vice got an anvil on the back of it. And I started with a ball peen hammer trying to close the tip back up. I got it back down pretty tight, and I took it and I put it over on my big anvil over on the floor, and I beat on that thing. I finally beat it till it closed it back down. I thought, man. So I took it and put it back on the saw, and I ran that saw a good bit Saturday during the saw class. And I kind of expected that tip to go ahead and finish exploding, but it didn't. It hung in there, and you know, so maybe it's fine, but I went ahead and ordered a Sugi bar to take that stupid steel roller-matic off of it. Because I've done that with the Oregon bars. I've done that. I mean, I've done it and done it and done it and done it. I've even done it with the X-Force bars, and I've never wedged a chain in that tip like that or anything, and that kind of caught me by surprise. So if you've got a roller-matic bar, I wouldn't force the kickback on it like what I was doing too many times, so that don't happen to you. So let's see, catch back up here. Shoot, Comer Bennett is logging the only business that I own. I don't even own the logging business, man. My dad owns that thing. It ain't mine. It ain't none of ours. It's my dad's. And he'll tell you in a heartbeat it's his, and it's gonna be his, and that's it. And that's the way it's gonna be. So it's dad, it ain't mine. It's dad's, man. So I seen somebody must have been asking about some gas here, VP Racing gas. I see Ryan says don't know about breaking. You can break a saw in with any gas as long as I recommend running non-ethanol gas in a saw if you can if at all possible run non-ethanol gas. And if you don't have no non-ethanol gas, get you some of that additive that will fix the ethanol that's in the gas. Put it in there, and you'll thank me later. But there's so many myths about breaking in saws and all that. And if you look in the owner's manual of a saw, and I'll tell you how I quote break in a saw, but there's so many myths about it. If you look in the owner's manual of a saw, especially on the Husqvarnas, it tells you to run the saw. The only thing you don't want to do with it is take it and run it wide open when you first get it without it being in a stick of wood. So that means when you run it, you can run it as hard as you want to. Just make sure you're cutting with it where it's got a load on it. The worst thing that you can do is run that thing wide open and not be cutting with it. And so that's what they say in the owner's manual. I mean, they're building the saw so they know what they're talking about. The way that I do it is exactly like that. I crank the saw up. Anytime I crank a saw up, I let it run for a little bit. I don't pick the saw up and run it wide open as soon as I crank it. And I think that's a good way to really mess your saw up. Let that piston in that cylinder get some heat in it. So what I do is I crank the saw. The chain breaks on. If it's a choke type saw or whatever, I crank it, cranks on fast idle, go ahead, hit the trigger. Where to get off fast idle, I set the saw on the ground. While it's sitting on the ground, I go ahead and I either put my earplugs in or I put my gloves on, and while I'm doing that, the saw's sitting there running and warming up. And once I do that, then I take and ready to rock and roll. When I've done that, it don't take long to get heat in it, get some heat in it and let it warm up, because everything's kind of getting ready to go. You start it running, the low end bearings have it gives them time to get a little heat in them, some oil running through them, the jug and the cylinder, carburetor, everything gets warmed up, and muffler gets warmed up and kind of expands the way it wants to, and then you can pick the saw up and you can get after it. And so that's how I do it. I mean, I don't put no special gas in them, and I crank them up, and there's old Wes. Appreciate that, Wes, and everything. Appreciate that. And I seen your comment today there, Wes, on the video. But you can just, once it warms up, let her eat, man. And I mean, I take a brand new saw and go to ripping with it or cutting trees down with it. Just run the heck out of it, just run it. Letting it go through, heat cycles. Just run it just like you would run any other time there. or anything. Let's see. Look back through. Scott Green asked, "Are timber prices down there as crap as they are up here in Maine?" Yeah, timber prices they're not any good around here, and all. Yeah, I seen John Boy's dad, Jerry, Mr. Jerry's on there. I seen him show up a while ago. Let's see. Let's see. Lee Cooper asked, the new bark box I have, do I think it would make a big difference on an older 268? You probably can't get one for the older saw. Like a lot of the Husqvarnas, you can't get them for it. They don't make them. They don't make them for it. Just a quick little tidbit of info about the bark box. I've got two of them. I got one on the 500 and I've got one on the 362 steel. The 500, I couldn't tell much difference on the 500 the way it ran. I know there's some people that puts them on and they swear by them and this, that, and the other. But I mean, I bought it, paid for it. I put it on. I couldn't really tell a power difference on it, on the saw. I hadn't cut down any timber with it yet to kind of see that part of it, but I know just cutting cookies and stuff like that, I couldn't tell a lot about it. But now I'll say this, I put the bark box on a 362 and that saw is a complete different animal with the bark box on it. That saw, it really did something to that saw when I put that bark box on that 362. That thing, I didn't like the 362 when I stuck it on there. Before I stuck it on there, when the saw was still stock, and when I put it on there, it really changed that saw a lot. Bark box, Ryan, is it's an outside different aftermarket muffler cover that goes on it. It just bolts on, takes about 2 seconds to put it on. There's old Dirt Perfect on there, man. They got said it just started snowing there. I know I seen Elite Earthworks there today. He was pushing snow up there around Joplin where he lives up there, and he was he said what the windshield was, and it was like down in the minus, and also we're sitting here cold as heck. And what gets me is over there, like we're in South Carolina where John Boy is over there. I talked to him a while ago, and man, it was like in the 40s over there is what it was. Appreciate that, Dirt Perfect. Yeah, man, appreciate that. And I think, man, the next several days, we're not gonna, I think this week here, hey Brad, I think this week here, I don't think we're gonna get any thawing. Well, we're gonna get thawing, but it's gonna be after Thursday. I don't think we'll even work this week. I don't think it'll ever hit, because we're supposed to get down to about 10 or 11 tonight, and then Wednesday it's supposed to rain. It's supposed to start raining Wednesday and rain Wednesday and Thursday. And then Friday or Thursday night it's supposed to drop back down in the dang like around 20 or so. So it's going to be chilly. I kind of chilled this morning. I was when I do the saw classes, it takes a lot to put those things on for me. A lot of it. The work ain't bad to put them on, like coming up to the saw class, and then, but when the people get here on that Friday night, then the stress level for me jumps up really high, and the strain for me is really high at that point too, because when people get here, I don't know them when they get here. So I don't know what their capabilities are or are not. And all of a sudden then we've got, 5, 6, 7 chainsaws running, something that would, cut a human body part off just like that. So when that happened, or when the saws start cranking up, my stress kind of skyrockets, because my radar is like level 1000 at that point. And that's the reason why on Fridays, when everybody gets here, as soon as they get here, we go outside and we crank up and we run. I take and I crank up and I cut a few cookies off and bore a time or two, and I kind of show them what I want. And then I have them I cut my saw off and I have them cut cookies. I got them spread out wide to where they can't hit each other with a saw. And then I let them cut, and while they're cutting, I'm watching them. I'm watching each person to see what they got, what their level is, and I can tell just by their body language how comfortable they are and all that good stuff like that. So during that entire weekend, it's a lot that goes on, and in my mind, because not only do I got everybody here, but then Saturday morning, then once we go through everything Friday night, and we'll see there, Terry. I take Saturday morning, Jill comes down, we sign the release forms and all that stuff like that, and we get rolling. And then I also provide lunch. So I kind of changed up on that. I was having Jill go on the edge of town at a restaurant there and picking up hamburgers. And last year, the 2 classes I had last year, we kind of got screwed a little bit on them both at the same restaurant. The first time she went up there, called in the orders and everything. They were about 45 minutes late getting an order to her. And it killed me here at the house working, because I had to kind of keep going till she got back. And so the next weekend when we did it again, man, they stalled her over an hour. And I told Jill then, I said, I'm not doing that no more. I said, the heck with them, man. We can't do that if they can't do no better than that. And I told her, I said, what I'm going to do from this point forward, and what I did for these 2 classes, I went ahead and pre-cooked Boston butts and then got them all shredded up and ready, and took them and had them bagged up and froze them. And so what we did is Jill thought we had them thawed out before the saw class, and then she warmed it up, and then she was at 11:30, I told her to be down there at 11:30 with lunch, and so she come rolling in at 11:30 with lunch, and Glenn says the barbecue was good. Well, this past weekend, Glenn, the darn they raved about it. There was one of the guys wanting me to do a video on how I do the barbecue and make it taste like that. I see somebody talking about the carbide teeth. I'm not sure exactly what the question is, but we run on the Derrick Sawhead cutter. They are carbide tip teeth on that cutter that we run on there. And that's another thing. If you come to the saw class, you get a carbide sawtooth that come off Derrick's cutter and a bowl. I save those things when we take them off, and I hand everybody one that comes here. And then of course you get you get barbecue by me, and you get a lot of chainsaw instruction, a lot. It's an information overload. I know yesterday I met them out there at the spot where I was going to cut that tree down, and the game plan is the crack wagon is still dead right now. Yeah, it's still deader than a doornail right now. But met them out there, and the game plan was for me to cut the tree down, and then I marked it up for them like I did, and then I had them alternate making cuts up that tree. And that went very, very well. And when we got done with it, that was a mind-boggling learning experience for those guys there, and to do that. And I know Mr. Jimmy, he's from Brandon, Mississippi. He told me, he said, man, it was worth the $400 just to have an opportunity to work that tree like that, and have you kind of follow us along. So that was pretty cool. That was a good deal. And that was a good tree to a good tree to work on too, to hack down, and it just kind of fell right in my lap. I kind of got lucky on that deal that job came up and was able to do it. Let's see. That's right. Napa Brent says, so if you don't like barbecue, you can eat carbide teeth. That's right. Yeah, Derek goes through a set of 20 of them things about every 300 hours or so. Is what he does. So I've got plenty of teeth to go around. That's for sure. Hey, come on, Brian. I need some. I don't need hollow stuff, man. I need in oaks. I cut a hollow tree down for you. I need softwood. I need pine. Let's see. Let's see. Let me read this right here. I need pine, gum, and poplar. That's my favorites for the saw classes right there, because it's easy to cut, easy to handle, and everything like that. I'll bring some oak home and all this stuff. Let's see. Side Pocket asks, can the teeth be sharpened? Side, technically, they can be sharpened. You got to have a special rock to sharpen them with. However, it's not worth it to take them off and mess with them. You can take the bolt loose on the teeth. They got 4 corners on it, and you can spin those teeth and get the other 2 sides. So you can do that, but as far as like taking them off and sharpening them, like I said, you got to have a special rock to do them. Yes, we do rotate the teeth. We'll rotate them as they start to wear down. And even at that, they usually don't last a couple 300 hours or so. Sometimes we can get more than that out of them. But Derek's cutting a lot of wood when he's cutting, and we have a lot of places that have a lot of sandstone in it, and you start hitting those sandstones and stuff, and you can't see everything that's there when you're cutting because you're trying to cut so fast, and the debris on the ground, the pine straw and leaves and all be so deep too that you can't see everything, and you'll hit those rocks with them and it messes them up, and you just run them and swap them out and stuff like that. Yeah, sometimes we do hit metal. We'll hit metal every now and then. No, Napa Brent, what's on them bolts? It stays on them bolts is what does. Let's see. And everything. Let's see. John H. No, we got this too. We got the other 2020 service truck there and everything. Got it going. And let's see. Okay, let me pull back up. So I just thought I'd come on here tonight and do this, because we ain't gonna be doing it tomorrow. I imagine there's some people around here that are on the roads that are probably having wrecks and stuff around here tonight. Yeah, Byron and I seen Napa Brent was talking about the storms and stuff that y'all were having down there, and all. So it's crazy weather that we got right now. It's like all the cold is just kind of sitting right here on top of us. And what's kind of funny, you go across the line over in Alabama a little bit, it kind of it kind of hit us and back west and everything. No, Brad, I still got my Jeep. I cranked it up today. I drove it the other day and cranked it up today. I need to do a video about it and put it on there and go ahead and sell it. It's what I need to do. See, somebody asked me earlier too about the the 562 and the 362 steel, how they compare to each other as far as I didn't run them against each other this weekend. I did have a 562 here, but it was brand new. It wasn't. I wouldn't have wanted to run the 362 against it till it had several tanks of gas through the 562 to kind of get it good and loosened up and everything. Lee, I don't know about Jay. I hadn't talked to Jay since I called him when my C-frame on my grapple busted. And he said he wasn't coming back out to work on our stuff anymore. And that's the last time I talked to him. And he didn't even tell me that. It just kind of come back around back to me and everything. So, and everything. Let's see here. Yep, Tupelo to Jackson. Appreciate that, Randy. Little Goose. Yep. So, Byron says we're safe but not far from the west of him. Tornadoes damaged our farm. No injuries, thank goodness. Yeah, I tell you what. So, Tactical Goober, that is actually his name used to be Skeeter Bug something, but he actually lives right over here across the road from me. There he is right there. His name's Chris Pippin, and like I said, he lives right over here. He's actually over here the other night hanging out with me over here. He came over here while I was making that totem pole. He watched me make some of that totem pole. We hung out for a while over here. Come over here every now and then. And I talked to him today. Old Chris is one of those guys that waited till he was in his dang 40s to start having kids. So I kind of giggle about that every time I talk to him. And mine's grown, and he's still wiping dirty buttholes and everything. So I kind of giggle about that. It's quite funny and stuff. So. Oh man, good stuff. Let's see here. Yep, it's true. It's true. I didn't have mine real early, but there's old Wes. Nothing wrong with having kids in your 40s. Well, Wes will show one or know about that, man. Goodness gracious. It's about time to have another one, Wes. Spit you. Trust me. It probably is. He's right. Less stressful. You probably got a lot more patience too in your Chris, there ain't no way you're 36 years old, dog. Now I know that's a lie. You better watch. Me and Chris, I was finna say God's gonna knock your power out, but if he knocks Chris's power out over there, it's gonna knock my power out because we're on the same line, so I don't want that out. Let's see. What did Wes say? No, we're not having another one, and yes, I am Joe. There's a Hank. How about you? Hank, Hamilton Bill, I just couldn't go out doing that, Hank. Tell old Matt, Hank, I'll be getting up with him here in the next couple of days. He's wanting me to come down there and do a saw class with his guys. And you see him here in the next days or so there. Tell him I ain't forgot about him. I'll be hitting him up on that and fix him up on that and everything. So, oh, Lord. Yeah, man, I mean, all the big names is coming in here. Dadgum, got everybody in here. Dirt Perfect, man, everybody in here. And stuff, oh, John Boy. Y'all want to hear something funny? Y'all ought to hear old Cottonwood do a Hank Hamilton, how about you? Now, I've done that and sent it out privately to some folks on just kind of get some feedback. And I think there's a couple of them people that are still in the hospital laughing about that, because old Cottonwood, son, he can throw it down. I'm talking about he can get it. Let's see, Nick, how you say your name? Nick, no, Lethanthan, Mick Lethanthan. Can you get a shout out? You just got it, dog. There it is, right there. No, I got to get in. I got to be in my Cottonwood filter to be able to do it. And also, let's see. Do I know what the Husqvarna big reveal is on their website? No, I don't. Actually, I don't. It's not going to be the chainsaw, though. I do know that it's not gonna be that. The 90cc chainsaw is supposed to be out later on in the summer. It's supposed to be, right now, the date on that's August, something like that. And and it's going to be it's going to be a big deal. It's going to be a big deal. Just trust me on that right there. It's going to be cool. That's what it's going to be. Let's see here. Close enough. Yeah, I got it. There's Peter from Victoria. There, that's a long ways away there. Let's see. Looking up through the. Yeah, Corey, it's going to be an auto tune. It will not be fuel injected. And I'm not so sure on the fuel injected stuff there. I kind of have, it runs really good, but I think on the chainsaws, I think the carbureted stuff is still where it's at as far as that goes. I see my moderators are doing well tonight. Y'all keep it up. Y'all doing a good job and everything on it, and y'all doing just going out. Let's see. Tyler wants to know if he can get a bark box for his $391. You might be able to look up West Coast Saws and look at their list that they make them for, and they may make one for that. But no, Brad, I'm not going to buy a new mower. A lot of people, when I did that video and I asked the Ellises over there at Northport Power Equipment, when I was looking at that Skag, I asked them if they had a demo unit. Well, the reason why I asked them if they had a demo unit is because I've got a good mower. I don't need a mower or anything. I'm just looking for a video to make and film, and so I that was the deal on that. So if I get an opportunity or something like that to run it, to run it and make some videos with it, I'll do that, because I'm supposed to. Hopefully, if everything works out right with Husqvarna, I should have a couple of the auto mowers here running in my yard, and I've got something in the works on that too, and I'm wanting to sell the auto mowers over here in my area. And if you're not familiar with the auto mowers, they're the little mowers that run around by themselves and cut. They mow 24/7, and they mow in the rain or anything like that. And they're a very cool little unit if you ain't ever messed with one, and they work. I mean, they're the coolest thing ever. And so I hope to have a couple of them running in my yard over here. And somebody asked, do they mow in the snow? No, they ain't gonna mow in the snow. What you do is you bury a wire around like you do those invisible fences and all that, and go on, and it just goes by that. it goes by that wire, and then it knows where it is, and it'll come back to the charging station and all. But they're slick as heck, man. And so I hope that I end up with two of them. They cost about $40-something $100 is what they cost a piece. Let's see. Brian says he's working on a couple of auto mowers himself, and he just have to wait until he's strong enough to start it himself. There's Preston Golf. Lordy mercy. Let's see. Nick asked, is the 562 that much more of a saw than the 550 XP? And kind of stuck on which to buy. All right, so it is more power, but it's also more weight too. And of course, you can run a longer bar on the 562 than you can on the 550. And also, it's running a 3/8 chain compared to a 325 chain on a 550. So if you're just going to be cutting stuff and you're okay with running a 325 chain, which that doesn't bother me at all. I mean, it cuts as well as the 3/8. It's just a smaller curve on it is all. I'd go with the 550. But I mean, if you're wanting to run a little bit longer bar than a 20-inch, you need to go with the 562. And the 550, with a 20-inch bar, X-Force bar, and SP33G chain, their retail on them is $619. Good night, Joe. And the 562 is $700 and something, I believe. So you're gonna pay, more money for the 562. So, you get the 562, you get better dogs on it. The 550 is a perfect saw, except for one thing. I hate the dogs on that saw. I wish that dang Husqvarna would do something about the inside dog on that thing, and then I wish they would make an option for where you could put two dogs on it. I mean, still makes the 261, which is a 50cc saw, where you can put two dogs on it. I mean, you can even put the large, West Coast Saws makes the large dogs for it that you can put on a 261. And why on God's green earth Husqvarna won't fix it where the dogs are better and stuff. Let's see. Wayne says, let me pull up here, reading Wayne's comments right here. Wayne Tharp says, any interest in trying an all-women saw class might help them out, feel more comfy, and get more gals out there cutting. So me and Jill talked about that let's see, Saturday night, I believe it was. We talked about that when me and Hunter got back from eating at Huck's, and Jill, Jill's exact words was, if you do an all-women saw class, she said, I'm gonna be down there all day long, is what she says. There he is, WRM Excavator. He is the next Let's Dig right there in the flesh, folks. That is him. He is the biggest and the fastest growing thing in the state of Florida right now, besides a palm tree. Stuff. Oh Lord, let's see. Get Jill on a saw. Jill probably would not run a saw. Let's see. Jill's never run a saw. And stuff. Yeah, man. So when I'm gonna end up making WRM. He got some WRM and Hank. How much it came up here to do my saw class, the filling class, Halloween weekend. And I think WRM, he fell in love with me. Hank was already in love with me and everything, but WRM, he fell on in love with me. And so he's wanting me to come down there and do a saw class for his guys. I think he's got about 9 guys. Well, he had 9 guys about 2 weeks ago. He's probably got 95 guys working for him now. And yeah, Hank won the felling contest. Of all people, out of all the guys that won the dang thing, Hank won it. And I thought, come on, some cornbread. Come on, man, cornbread style. I mean, of all people, Hank won it. But anyhow, so that's beside the point. And so I'm gonna make a sweet deal for WRM down there, and I'm gonna go down there and train his guys up on a weekend. And he's got all, and he buys a new piece of equipment like every hour of the day that goes on. I mean, this guy's got more money than Elon does, man. The dude that does the Teslas, you know, Elon, he's got more money than him. There's no doubt in my mind, you know. And so I bet he changes his underwear like 13 times a day. He's probably got a daggone rolling thing of underwear coming in there too. I mean, this beats all I ever seen. But anyhow, let's see. What's the pros and cons of the 550? It's all pros except for the dang felling dog on that thing. I don't like the felling dog on it. Let's see. John says, if I time out Hank, do I win the weekend with Cotton Top 3? It's a good possibility, John boy. Good possibility. Let's see. Tucker Hillard says their paper mill is out of wood, paying $26 a ton for hardwood pulpwood. That's still $26 a ton. Is still bad low, man, for pulpwood. I mean, I've seen that stuff go when they run out of wood. They're not out low enough yet, because I've seen them when they went out, man, be up around $60 a ton to try to get wood in there. Motley Crew, hey man, appreciate it there, buddy. Let's see. All right, so Winston Churchill, I'm going to surprise you right here real quick. He says, Blue Ridge, Virginia, near Harper's Ferry, West Virginia, mountains and hills, Potomac River. Here's something very interesting. I've been right there at Harper's Ferry, and I climbed that mountain and went up on top of it where that overlook is. It looks back down over the rivers right there where all the railroad tracks are and stuff. I've been right there, man, and went up that thing one time, probably about maybe 2014 or so, something like that. I was up there in that area. It's a beautiful area too up there. Let's see. They got the wet yard full. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Lover's Leap is the name of it. Okay. Yeah, Maryland Heights. That's right. I remember seeing Maryland Heights right there too. I made a tour up through there when I was geocaching. That's what I was doing up there, and everything it was all up in there, messing around. Let's see. Yes, I seen Les Diggs' new bulldozer. He said he tried to figure out how to cut one of the switches off in it for like 5 minutes the other day. And that was pretty funny. But man. Let's see, Royce asked him ever going to do a video unloading at the mill. That's a good question. I get a question about that all the time. And man, those mills, they ain't gonna let me in there with no camera. It is not happening. It's not happening. Because no matter what kind of safety thing that goes on or whatever like that, there's always unsafe stuff that's happening no matter where you're at. And man, they don't want anything to get out there. And then there's a lot of proprietary stuff that's inside of each of these mills, whether it's a Weyerhaeuser or an IP, a Georgia Pacific, or whatever, Westvaco or Westervelt or anything. They have certain things that they just don't want nobody to know about or anything and stuff. And so Billy wants to know about concrete. Billy, I would pour it 6 inches thick, buddy. That's what I would do. I'd pour it 6 inches thick. Let's see, David, gonna do some dry fit shirts for the summer. Nah, I probably won't. I probably won't do any dry fit. I don't think. And also, let's see here. Yeah, Brad says hit the like button, y'all. If y'all ain't hit that like button there, because the thing about the mills, man, and like when I show stuff in my videos, before I film, I have to make sure that everything is as close to right as possibly can be. And the reason being is because there's a lot of people that watch the videos, they're looking for something to gig you on. And there's a lot of people out there that watch videos that try to mess you up on everything that you possibly do, no matter what it is. If I film something in the woods, there's other people, other loggers that watch the videos or something like that, and they're over there yang, well, Tim and them get to do this, or Tim and them get to do that. We don't get to do this, like a bunch of freaking 3-year-olds. Suck it up, Buttercup. Log and put the wood on the dang truck and go to the mill. Just get it done. You know what I mean? Just be glad I'm filming and put out quality videos that promote the logging industry, and quit being such a whiny titty baby about everything and just go. But that's the way people are. That, a lot of times they try to get, just something that they can gig you on. They just want to gig you on something all the time. Yeah. See, that Pawashka Outdoors, he's talking about the fines on Gold Rush. I think on Axemen they had some trouble along those lines too, because the producers and stuff of the TV shows, they want them to do certain things, where it kind of spices things up and all and stuff. Let's see. Oh, Slim Jim. Slim Jim says, spend more time with your family and less time on YouTube trying to make a buck because you can't make it logging. Slim Jim, you're a freaking idiot, dude. Slim Jim, if you're a man, if you got a set of nuts between your legs down there, Slim Jim, tell us your real name and where you live. How do you know that I don't spend an incredible amount of time with my family? How do you know how much time that I spend on YouTube? You're probably one of those dudes, you're probably one of those gamer dudes that still lives in your mom and dad's basement and are still trying to find your little pecker down there between your legs. Is probably who you are, Slim Jim. Get him, Joseph. That's how I deal with folks like that, man. Let's see. Lordy mercy. These folks, they ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing. They couldn't do anything. I love it when people like that, and when it's live like this is the perfect time to blast them, is right there and get a hold of them right there and everything. Man, okay. How about you? We'll catch you later there, Hank. See you, everybody. But man, people sit there behind those keyboards and they type and they punch stuff, just whatever they want punch in there and they think that they can get away with it. Man, you catch them right there live. It's it's good stuff, man. Jill reminds me all the time. I'm gonna kind of wrap this up right here, and the they're getting to 100,000 subscribers on the channel was not easy. It was quite the task to pull off, and Jill has to remind me all the time, and she says this right here, and she says, Tim, you just keep doing Tim. And that's so true. And that's with anybody on here that watches. Just keep doing you. Just stay the course and make sure you're doing the right thing, and just keep doing you. And that's all that you can do. Keep doing and help people when they need help. If you see that you can help somebody out and it ain't gonna put you in too much of a bind, if you can do that, man, it goes a long way. And I say it all the time. I ain't said it in a video in a while, man, but in life, you only get what you give, and that's it. And that's kind of one of the things with the saw classes. I do charge money for those saw classes and everything, but it's a true joy for me to pass on what I know and what I have learned over the years, paying what I call stupid taxes. If I can help somebody else from getting hurt or something like that, that's what I want to do. I love logging, and my first mission in my channel is to promote logging and all that, and go on. Been doing it for over 30 years now, and all. So I'm gonna leave it with y'all. We're just gonna stay iced in up here for the next couple of days, and just keep on with it. I may do another live feed in a night or so. I don't really like to plan live feeds or say I'm gonna do it. Joe, if you're gonna get the 550, get the 550 XP Mark II version. Get the Mark II. Don't get the regular 550. Get the Mark II is the one to get. So, like I said, I don't like to plan them because I like them to be kind of more spontaneous. I know that throws people off and probably aggravates some people like that, but I have to kind of be in the right frame of mind to do live feeds. So appreciate all y'all. Love all y'all. Thank y'all for watching and hanging out with me tonight. We'll catch y'all later. Later, taters.